So the African elephant ears are larger because it's hotter in Africa, and they use their ears to fan them to actually cool their body down. So the Asian elephants, they don't need to have extremely large ears because it's not as hot as it is in Africa compared to Asia. So when you look at different species of animals, their body take on different characteristics that coincide with the area that they live in. So you have some biologists that study animal anatomy and physiological, and that's looking at adaptations. Adaptations are basically certain traits that an individual may have that make them more likely to survive and reproduce in certain environments better than other individuals that lack those traits. So following that same concept of the elephants, do you think Asian elephants can survive in Africa? They don't have the makeup, they don't have the ear size in order to do it. So adaptations, these heritable traits is connected to natural selection and how evolution basically took place. And then you have a term called trade-offs. It's always, this is another example of pro and con. There's always a pro and con to a scenario. Trade-offs are defined as inescapable compromises between traits. Trade-off examples include energy needed to produce offspring, energy needed to mount an immune response during an infection, or animals may not have enough to satisfy both needs, so they have to figure out which one they're gonna focus on. It's this fish called guppies, and the male guppy fish, in order to increase their chances of mating, they have to be brightly colored. So if a male guppy fish want to mate with a female guppy fish, the more colorful that fish is, the more likelihood it will increase its chances of mating with that female fish. But the trade-off, as this term on the board just says, the brightly colored fish is trying to mate, but it also increased their chances of being seen by other predators, which is problematic. So which one would you pick? You need to mate. You need to reproduce some offspring, but the trade-off is.
No, I just ain't gonna have no babies. Cause I'm like,
You know, people will say that when I know what 10 kids. Let me put this in. I know we're talking about animals here, but let's talk about us humans. So, what do you feel like males do in order to attract females? What do males do in order to attract females?
Like get haircuts, get dressed, look good.
Yeah, get haircuts. What's the part of looking good? Maybe having jewelry.
Yeah,
Maybe having a nice car.
flashy
A
stuff.
flashy car.
Yeah.
Something brightly colored, like maybe like a red, leopard green. They want to be bold and stand out. So they have these things and money. They have these things to impress women, to maybe have women attract them. But guess what the trade-off to that is? Now people see what you have, and now people want to rob you. You see where I'm going with this? It's a pro and con to things. You try to get ahead, but on the back end, you can expose yourself to something else. You want the female, but you don't want to get robbed for the stuff that you have. Okay? So here's an example of crickets. During the mating process, the male cricket produces a spermatophore. Basically, it's like a sperm packet. And so that sperm packet is a large gel type mass. And so the female will basically eat that sperm packet in order to make more crickets. The larger the sperm packet, the more sperm is transferred to the female. But now the trade-off is between that male sperm, now he used so much energy to produce his sperm packet. Now he needs to be, if he's being attacked, now he don't have the energy to defend himself. Because he spent all that time. It's a trade-off.
Being fast.
Being
Now he ain't got no energy.
Okay. So trade-off between the size of spermatophore and other processes can also open them up to being killed by other species, or it can affect their immune system. So if they get sick, they can't fight off these different pathogens. So they have to find a happy medium. So maybe instead of producing a large sperm packet, maybe I just need to produce a smaller, medium-sized one, so I can conserve some of my resources to keep myself safe or keep myself healthy. Another thing terminology is called adaptation, and this is a genetic change in a population in response to natural selection. It's started by the environment. They are normally short-term and reversible. So next we're gonna look at birds. You have some finches birds. Here's a picture. These are 4 different species of the same type of bird you see on the board. They're called finches. These birds' eye and skin and texture may look the same, but what's different is what's the size of their beak. So an example of adaptation is you have some species that take on different functions and look slightly different to accommodate what their food source is going to be. So the first finches, if you look at the beak, it's kind of narrow and skinny at the top. That means this particular finch only eats small seeds. The second one, you can see that the beak is much larger, so therefore it eats medium seeds. The third one is the largest one we see, and obviously it's eating larger seeds. And the one on the bottom is the most narrowest, skinniest one, and they only eat insects and nectar, which is like a honey. So basically these species can coexist because they all feed on different types of things because they have different beak sizes. So now we're going into the tissues.